Welcome back. You're tuned in for something really quite special today.
Yeah, this deep dive is different. It's all coming from one source.
A source we both know personally and honestly deeply respect, Lorenzo.
Exactly, Lorenzo, the astrologer, the tarot reader. I mean, his insights are just uncanny sometimes. We really trust his work.
We absolutely do. And that's why today we're doing something unusual. We're giving you his complete monthly forecast, word for word.
No summaries, no picking and choosing. Just Lorenzo's message, directly to you. We believe in it that much.
We really do. So what's the focus? It's Lorenzo's forecast for Aries Rising, specifically about Lilith moving through Scorpio.
Right, Lilith and Scorpio hitting your 8th house if you're Aries rising. A really significant transit happening for, well, most of 2025.
The exact time frame we're covering from Lorenzo's work, which, by the way, is titled Lilith and Scorpio 2025 Aries Rising, The Exorcism of Your Soul PDF,
Yeah.
is March 29th to December 20th, 2025.
Okay, so let's just dive right in. We'll start with Lorenzo's opening words. Here they are. March 29 to December 20th, 2025. The dark goddess descends. She enters Scorpio, your 8th house, Aries rising, and nothing will ever be the same.
Wow. Okay. Straight out of the gate, that's intense. Sets the tone, doesn't it?
It really does. And for anyone maybe not super familiar with Lilith and astrology, Lorenzo gives a definition. It's quite something.
Yeah, let's read that directly. He says, Lilith is not a planet, she is a void. She is the lunar apogee black moon Lilith, the place where the moon is farthest from Earth, the raw edge of the feminine psyche. She is rejection, she is rage, she is sex that burns and truth that kills.
It keeps going.
In astrology, Lilith shows what society suppresses in you and where you stop asking for permission to exist. She's the exiled queen turned shadow witch.
That last line, exiled queen turned shadow witch, just paints such a picture of this raw, untamed energy.
Absolutely. And before getting into the specifics, Lorenzo had a really key reminder for everyone listening.
Oh, yes, the ascendant point, super important.
Right. He says, remember to check both your sun sign and your ascendant, your rising sign, for a more accurate and personalized horoscope, as the ascendant shapes how the planetary transits play out in your daily life.
Crucial advice. Your rising sign really does frame how you experience these bigger shifts day to day. Okay, so now he describes the actual transition. Lilith moving.
Yeah, from Libra into Scorpio, Lorenzo puts it like this. Lilith leaving Libra in your 7th house means no more illusions of harmony in relationships. You've kissed the mask. You've seen who they are.
Oof, so relationship reality is hitting hard there.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
And then, now she plunges into your 8th house Scorpio, the underworld of your psyche, the house of death, sex, power, debts, trauma, and rebirth.
The 8th house, it's like the deep end of the pool astrologically, all the hidden things, transformation, shared stuff, intimacy.
Exactly. And Lorenzo uses that phrase, underworld of your psyche. It's so fitting for the 8th house in Scorpio energy. And he doesn't mince words about what this transit feels like.
No, he definitely doesn't. He states very clearly, this isn't evolution, it's annihilation.
Annihilation, wow.
Yeah. She strips you of false safety. You are not allowed to be tame anymore. Not in love, not in sex, not in the power plays of your life.
So it's like a forced shedding of anything that isn't brutally honest or authentic. No more playing nice, basically.
That's the feeling I get. Now, he moves into the timeline, the specific dates and transits to watch out for during this period.
Okay, let's walk through Lorenzo's storyline. This is the real meat of the forecast. Where should we start?
Let's go chronologically, exactly as he lays it out. First up, March 29, Lilith enters Scorpio in your 8th house. This begins your initiation, secret surface, money owed, karmic contracts, soul bonds. It all begins to erupt.
So right at the start, the hidden things, maybe debts, intense connections, things with history, they start coming up. That idea of karmic contracts, Lorenzo, seems to mean these deep, perhaps past life ties.
Yeah, echoes from the past influencing the now, especially around those 8th house themes. Okay, next key date. June 13, trine Mercury in Cancer, 4th house. Whispers from the past. A buried family truth helps you understand why you trust or don't. Conversations with ancestors or childhood imprints echo loudly. You see who fed your shame.
Okay, a trine, that's usually a more flowing, supportive aspect, right? So Mercury in Cancer in the 4th, that's communication, family, roots, emotions. Sounds like insight coming through family history, maybe understanding old patterns around trust or shame.
Exactly, a potential moment of clarity there. But then, just 2 days later, June 15, opposition Venus and Taurus, 2nd house, clash. What you desire versus what others take. This day exposes lovers or people who drain your worth. The transaction of your value becomes crystal clear. If you keep giving your body or energy without power, you'll snap.
Opposition, so tension, conflict. Venus and Taurus in the second. That's about self-worth, values, what you own, maybe sensuality versus Lilith in the eighth, which is about shared resources, power dynamics, deep intimacy. So a clash over value, maybe feeling drained or used.
Yeah, that transaction of your value becoming clear sounds potentially painful but necessary. Then July brings squares. July 8 and 25 squares to Mercury in Leo, 5th house. Conflicted passion. Words won't come out right. You either say too much or explode in silence. Your creative power is sexually charged, but you may fear its consequences.
Squares mean friction, challenges. Mercury and Leo in the fifth, that's communication about self-expression, creativity, romance, maybe even fun. Squaring Lilith in the eighth sounds like difficulty expressing intense feelings or desires, like the passion is there, but it's hard to voice it, or maybe afraid of the reaction.
That sounds right, that feeling of being stuck between exploding or shutting down. But then a little relief comes mid-July. July 10, trine a sun in Cancer, 4th house, a cathartic day, emotional clarity through family, home, or personal rituals. It's a spiritual detox. Burn it, bury it, bleed it out.
Another trine, this time with the sun in Cancer. Core identity, home, family, emotions. So a supportive day for releasing emotional baggage, maybe finding clarity through connection to roots or personal space. A spiritual detox.
Sounds like a needed release valve. But August ramps up the tension again. August 7, square to sun in Leo, 5th house. You're called to shine but feel unsafe. Maybe your sexuality is misunderstood. Maybe you're terrified of being loved fully because it means losing control. This day forces you to own your erotic power without shame.
Okay, another square, this time sun and Leo in the fifth. Wanting to express yourself, be seen, maybe creatively or romantically, but clashing with the intensity and vulnerability of Lilith in the eighth. Feeling unsafe to shine, especially around sexuality or deep intimacy. Owning power without shame, that's the challenge.
Yeah, that fear of losing control if you're truly seen or loved. Then just days later, social stuff comes up. August 9 square to full moon in Aquarius, 11th house. Expect social fallout. Friends or communities that once felt safe now feel alien. You see manipulation or superficiality, and you choose exile over fake belonging.
Full moon in Aquarius in the 11th. Friendships, groups, networks, ideals. Squaring Lilith. Uh-oh. Sounds like seeing through facades in your social circles.
Yeah.
Feeling alienated, maybe choosing authenticity over fitting in, even if it means being alone for a bit. Exile over fake belonging. Wow.
Powerful choice. But then, another moment of potential grace. August 13, trine Venus in Cancer, 4th house, a small gift. Healing in love, intimacy, or comfort. Could be a sexual experience that heals instead of wounds, or a reconnection with someone who sees you, all of you.
Venus in Cancer again, trining Lilith. Love, connection, home, nurturing. A chance for genuine healing and intimacy. Maybe finding comfort or a connection that feels safe and accepting, even amidst the intensity. A small gift, he calls it.
Nice. But the communication challenges seem to resurface later in August. August 26, square to Mercury in Leo again, 5th house. You resist being vulnerable through words. This is not the time to perform love. It's a time to feel it or walk away. Faking it kills you now.
That Mercury square again. Resisting verbal vulnerability. Lorenzo's emphasizing authenticity here. No performing, just feeling it or leaving. Faking it kills you now. Very direct.
Super direct. Okay, now we hit a really significant patch. End of August into September. Lots happening here. August 31st, September 13th. Trine to Jupiter in Cancer, trine North Node Pisces, sextile South Node Virgo, major karmic opening, spiritually backed transformation. This is the pivot point.
Whoa, okay. Jupiter trine, North Node trine, South Node sextile. Lots of supportive flowing energy here. Jupiter brings expansion, luck. The nodes relate to destiny, past and future paths. Pisces and Virgo axis. Service, spirit, details, surrender.
Yeah, Lorenzo calls it a major karmic opening, he continues. Synchronicities, divine nudges, and maybe a fated sexual or financial encounter that activates your purpose. You realize your past pain was an initiation, not a curse.
That shift in perspective sounds huge. Seeing past pain as preparation, not just suffering. A real turning point.
Definitely feels like the energetic peak, maybe? And it flows right into an eclipse. September 7, trine lunar eclipse in Pisces, 12th house. Your subconscious bleeds into your waking life. Spiritual, sexual visions, mediumship, karmic dreams. A trauma dies. A hidden strength wakes up. This is a holy day. Treat it like a psychic rebirth.
Lunar eclipse in Pisces in the 12th. It's deep subconscious territory. Spirituality, endings, hidden things. Trining Lilith sounds like a profound release. Intense dreams, psychic insights, maybe a past trauma finally losing its grip. Psychic rebirth.
A holy day, he calls it. But the relationship stuff gets tested again soon after. September 9, square to Venus in Leo, 5th house. Power games and love hit a climax. If you're being used as a fantasy or using someone else, it crashes. Real love. It gets messier but deeper.
Another square to Venus in the 5th. Passion, self-expression, romance, power dynamics coming to a head, illusions shattering, but the potential for deeper, messier, realer love if you face it.
Seems like a theme shattering illusions to get to something more authentic. Then, late October looks incredibly intense, a cluster of planets. October 24-28, conjunct Mercury, Mars, Venus in Scorpio, 8th house, sexual obsession, depth conversations, emotional warfare. The lovers who left a mark resurface mentally or literally. This cluster is raw. Don't lie to yourself. Speak the unspeakable. Want what you want fully.
Okay, Mercury, Mars, and Venus all conjunct Lilith and Scorpio in the 8th house itself. That's a pressure cooker. Communication, action desire, love value, all merging with Lilith's raw energy in his home territory. Obsession, deep talks, maybe conflict, facing desires head on.
Wow, raw feels like an understatement. And this leads into a very significant new moon in November. November 19, conjunct Sun and new moon in Scorpio, the core exorcism. This is it. Lilith is reborn in your bones. New contracts with power, sex, and shadow. Someone new may appear, someone magnetic, maybe dangerous, maybe liberating. This is a blood pact. You own your desires now.
The Sun and new moon joining Lilith. New beginnings, core identity, all infused with this intense Scorpio 8th house Lilith energy. Lorenzo calls it the core exorcism, a rebirth. Making new agreements with your own power and shadow, owning desire completely. That sounds like a monumental turning point.
It really does. And right after that, Mercury goes retrograde, adding another layer. November 22, conjunct Mercury retrograde, a second look, a psychic download. Words from a past lover, sexual memory, or trauma return. This is the final purge. Write it. Burn it. Seal the damn portal.
Mercury retrograde conjunct Lilith. Looking back, reviewing old stuff, resurfacing words, memories, trauma related to these themes, Lorenzo sees it as a final clearing out. Seal the damn portal. He's not messing around.
No, definitely not. Then Mercury goes direct in December. December 11, conjunct Mercury direct. You speak your truth and someone hears it. Whether it's therapy, confession, or spell work, your words carry fire. No more muting the beast.
Mercury direct conjunct Lilith. After the review, now it's time to speak. And the words have power, carry fire, finding your voice on these deep, maybe previously taboo subjects.
A real reclaiming of voice. And the final period he highlights brings in the outer planets. December, verse 20, trine to Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, 12th house. You are now your own priest. You see beyond veils. You forgive, but not forget. You reclaim your magic, your psychic stamina, your power over death, sex, and money.
Okay, Saturn and Neptune in Pisces in the 12th. Structure, responsibility, spirituality, intuition, the subconscious. Trining Lilith as she finishes her Scorpio journey. This sounds like integrating the whole experience, getting wisdom, spiritual authority.
He finishes this part with, this is the Lilith priestess rising in you. She doesn't ask, she knows.
Wow, what a journey he maps out. From initiation and eruption to this place of knowing and reclaimed power.
Exactly, and that covers the detailed timeline. Now, Lorenzo offers some powerful closing thoughts and, importantly, some specific advice.
Right, let's get into his outro. He starts with a kind of summary statement. Lilith and Scorpio in your 8th house isn't about survival. It's about resurrection on your terms. Burn the shame, rule your body, command your soul. Aries Rising, you are now the exorcist and the possessed.
The exorcist and the possessed. That duality captures it, doesn't it? The struggle and the power gained. And then he points out something he feels others are missing.
Yeah, this is his wow moment, as he calls it. He says, yes, we've missed one massive thing, and no other astrologer is catching it.
Okay, curious now. What is it?
Here's your wow moment. Lilith and Scorpio in your 8th house isn't about transformation. It's about confronting the parts of you that refuse to transform.
Huh. Okay, that's subtle but significant.
Right.
Not the transformation itself, but the resistance to it.
Exactly. He continues. Everyone says, Lilith empowers you sexually, financially, magically. False.
Oh.
That's the end result, not the process, the real work. It's when you consciously sabotage yourself because deep down you still believe power, punishment, that visibility violation, that your desire is danger. That is the core possession.
Wow. Okay, that cuts deep. Locating the work in that self-sabotage, rooted in old beliefs about power and desire being dangerous, that feels incredibly insightful.
It really does. And he adds another critical nuance, this one about intimacy and boundaries. The most critical nuance no one is naming. This transit is about reclaiming your right to withhold intimacy. Lilith in Scorpio doesn't just say, take your power back. She whispers, don't give it away in the first place.
Oh, interesting. It's not just reclaiming, it's about discernment before giving.
Precisely. It's your trauma boundaries getting a reset. You'll stop. Sharing your soul with people who haven't earned it. Explaining your pain to those who feed off it. Sleeping with someone just to feel momentarily chosen.
Yeah, those are really specific examples of leaking energy or seeking validation inappropriately.
Right. And he concludes this point. This is not the time to open up. This is the time to seal the vault and rewire the lock. Not out of fear, but so the right person can finally knock.
Seal the vault and rewire the lock. That's such a strong image for setting healthy boundaries from a place of power, not fear. So powerful.
It really is. Okay, so after these profound insights, he offers some very direct, practical advice, things you can actually do.
Yeah, let's hear these actionable steps from Lorenzo. Practical advice. 1. Track sexual dreams, obsessions, and repulsions. They are maps to past life trauma and soul contracts that need severing.
Okay, paying attention to the subconscious signals around sexuality and connection.
2. Burn your old money stories. Literally, write every belief you inherited from parents, religion, society around power, debt, survival, control. Then burn it on the exact dates Lilith conjuncts personal planets in Scorpio.
Wow, a literal ritual for releasing limiting beliefs about money and power, times with the astrology. Very specific.
3. Do a mirror ritual on November 19th. New moon plus sun plus Lilith and Scorpio, a nuclear rebirth vortex. Strip, look at yourself in a mirror, and talk to your shame. Then anoint your chest and genitals with oil and say, I am not dangerous for wanting. I am dangerous when I deny it.
That sounds incredibly intense and empowering, using that potent new moon energy for a direct confrontation with shame and reclaiming desire.
Definitely. Number 4. Audit your psychic leaks. Who drains you with guilt, sex, money, helpfulness? Name them. List the cords. Cut or renegotiate every single one by December 20.
A practical energetic hygiene practice. Identifying drains and consciously cutting those cords or changing the dynamic, crucial during such a transit.
And finally, 5. Avoid spiritual bypass. You'll be tempted to make your trauma beautiful. Don't. This is raw, holy filth. It must stink before it heals.
So important. Resisting the urge to pretty up the pain. Acknowledging the messiness, the raw, holy filth, as he calls it, is necessary for real healing.
Absolutely. These are incredibly potent pieces of advice, and he finishes with one last powerful statement tying it all together, bringing in the ancestral piece.
Let's hear Lorenzo's final word on this, the final nail. When Lilith trines Neptune and Saturn in your 12th in December, she isn't liberating you. She is finishing an exorcism your bloodline never dared begin.
Wow. So it's bigger than just the individual.
Seems so. You're the one breaking centuries of ancestral, sexual, financial, and spiritual bondage. You're the one not passing it on. No applause, no drama, no guru, just you, a mirror, a match, and your deepest, most feral truth.
Chills. That sense of completing something for the entire lineage, quietly, powerfully, just with yourself and your truth, it's profound.
Truly profound.
Right.
And that leads into his final call to action for anyone listening who felt resonated.
Right. Here's how Lorenzo closes. If this prophecy ignited something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, subscribe. Let others feel this roar. And if you're ready to step into your own reign order, your personalized astrology or tarot reading from me, Lorenzo, this isn't entertainment. This is your divine blueprint. Links below. Let's write your legacy louder, sharper, and truer than ever before.
And there you have it. That was the complete, unedited forecast from Lorenzo. Yeah. For Lilith and Scorpio, 8th house, Aries Rising, March 29th, December 20th, 2025.
Yeah, we really wanted to bring his voice, his perspective directly to you because, as we said, we know his work. We trust it. It's powerful stuff.
It really is.
Yeah.
So just take some time with this. Let it settle. If you're in Aries Rising, see how it feels, what parts resonate, or maybe even challenge you.
Absolutely. Mull it over. See what lands for you in your own life.
Thank you for joining us for this very special, focused, deep dive into Lorenzo's work.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.